Well, I see that it's time for the net. So, before we start the net, this is November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey, net control station for this evening's session of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. Is there any emergency traffic for the net before we start the net? Hearing none, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody who's listening and who wishes to check into the net. This is November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey, net control station for this evening's session of the 9H-HAM Global Net. It's a directed net, and we hope that all calls go through net control. And the purpose of the net is to share information about anything going on in ham radio and how you've been, and it's quite informal, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. Many people contribute to the net, whether they're calling the net like I am today, or whether they're in the background making connections and making sure everything is working. Last week we were scheduled to have a net, and due to technical difficulties, which were resolved quite quickly, and I'd like to thank all those who contributed to that resolution, we had to hold the net this week. The net is held every 2 weeks on Thursday at this time, 2 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Malta time. And we welcome all ham radio operators to check in and participate in the net. I'm coming in from Wyoming through the Echolink system, which is connected to the local 9H1 UHF-R repeater, and also connected to DMR, either TUG Group 2780 or the link that is on Echolink that is labeled or called 9H1 DMR-L as Lima. So, without further ado, as one of my friends would say, I will now take check-ins for the net. If you have anything that's interesting to the group, please feel free to share. And it doesn't necessarily have to be about ham radio, but it could be about maybe your local weather conditions. Here, well, it's cold, but it's going to get warmer. It did snow last night in Wyoming, at least where I am. But the temperature is scheduled to be somewhere around 50 degrees Fahrenheit or 10 degrees Celsius within the next 3 days, which during this time of the year is labeled as summer. Talking about check-ins, please give your name and your call sign slowly, because I don't type or write too fast. And please leave at least a 5-second pause so that all the interconnected systems could reset at the same time. So, I will stand by now for any and all check-ins for the 9H-HAM Global Net.
9 Hotel 1 Lima Oscar via 9H1 UHF repeater on UHF. Good evening, 9 Hotel 5 Tango Sierra, yes, hello?
Golf Zero Bravo India Alpha, good evening.
Nine Hotel 1 Foxtrot Bravo Sierra, Charles.
WB4 PVT, Charlie.
Whiskey. Let me tell you what I have here. I have 9 Hotel 1 Lima Oscar, 9 Hotel 5 Tango Sugar, Golf 0 Bravo India Alpha Ian, 9 Hotel 1 FBS Charles, and WB4 Papa Victor Tango Charlie. And then there was a station that was very scratchy into the machine. So at this point, he's listed as Scratchy. Okay, let's see if there are any more check-ins, and then I'll get names in the next round. And after we get some check-ins, we'll go for a short round table and tell us how you're doing and what you're doing, and if you have anything of interest to the net, and we'll keep it going that way. So, any more check-ins? This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, net control station for the 9H-HAM GlobalNet.
Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. The name is Anthony. 9 Hotel 1 Sugar Fox. 9 Hotel 1 Sugar Fox, operator Steven, standing by. Nine Hotel 1 Tango Lima. Name is Chris. I'm not sure if I managed to get checked in. I'm Mr. Scratchy over here. Just would like to confirm whether I managed to check in. Thank you.
You're 100% copy with no noise right now, Chris. Excellent. Any more check-ins? I'm glad you guys have humor like I do. I acknowledge 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha Anthony, 9H1 Sugar Fox Stephen, and 9 Hotel 1 Tango Lima. Chris, Mr. Scratchy, be careful. That might stick. Oh my goodness. Any other check-ins at this point in time for the 9H-HAM GlobalNet? This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, net control station for this evening session of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, which, as I said before, meets every 2 weeks on Thursday at this time. And everybody is welcome to join into the net and share any information that you have with us. Something that is very interesting that I was looking into, actually a couple of things. First of all, that they're starting to pass communications after that terrible volcano eruption just off of Tonga, and it's still pretty slow, but it's getting there slowly. And also there is an interesting phenomenon called an ice disk, and this ice disk is forming on a river in Maine in the United States, and it partially formed in 2019 and also tried to form a complete circle in 2020, but apparently in the past week or two, the weather conditions have been optimal for this ice disk to form. And so it's an ice disk, and it's complete. It's a whole circle. It is over the river, and obviously the river currents and the river movement also makes it turn around. So it's like, for a better analogy, it's like a record on a turntable, except it doesn't turn that fast. There are a lot of pictures on the net about it, and it's still forming, and will be complete probably tomorrow or Saturday. So it's an interesting phenomenon, and it's especially nice to see some of the pictures that are taken during the night while the moon is shining. Alrighty, with that piece of information, let me go around to all the check-ins from top to bottom and tell us what you have to say. Let's see who's first on the list. 9 Hotel 1 Lima Oscar. And I didn't catch your call. Well, I did catch your call, but I didn't catch your name. 9 Hotel Lima Oscar. Anything for the net this evening? November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey.
Seven Alpha Papa Whiskey and the group 9 Hotel 1 Lima Oscar. Apologies for that. The name here is Stanley. Sierra Tango Alpha November Lima Echo Yankee. And thanks for passing over the mic. Good copies this evening. Here quite a few call signs. I think I hear Trevor here also on the frequency. And a few new guys also. So I just joined to say hello, and I'll keep it short. And pass it back to net controller, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey, 9 Hotel 1 Lima Oscar.
Very good, Stanley, or Stan. Nice to make your acquaintance today. The name here is Jerry, Golf Echo Radio Yankee. And thank you for joining the net and listening in. And if you have anything to contribute to the net, feel free to do so. All right, let's pass to the next check-in. As I flip the screen, 9 Hotel 5, Tango Sugar. November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet.
Good evening, this is 9 Hotel 5 Tango Sierra. Very nice to hear you all here on the net. Hello Stanley, Lee Moscar. Name is Trevor here, and it's very nice to hear you enjoying the net control once again. I'm also on Jitsi, if anyone wants to say hi later on. It's me.jits.si, 9H-HAM, the link. And yeah, nothing extraordinary going on, you know, usual stuff, work, IT stuff from my side, and nice weather here on the island. We can't really complain. It's a bit cold, maybe some occasional rain, but still relatively dry, except when it rains it pours. And yeah, that's it basically. So I'm standing by here, and nice to hear all the other call signs as well. Tango Lima and friends. So yeah, I'll pass it back to you, net control, for the next person to say hi. Good evening.
Well, very good, Trevor, and Happy New Year to you and your family. I hope everything is going well. We're almost through a whole month of the new year. Well, maybe I'm pushing that a bit too much. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey. Net control station for this evening's session of the 9H-HAM Global Net. Ian, good evening to you. Golf 0, Bravo, India, Alpha. How are things in your neck of the wood? November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey.
Yeah, November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey. Good evening, Jerry. Good evening to everybody else on frequency. Nice to hear you on. Nice to see 9 Hotel 1 UHF repeater alive and active. I've been on it a couple of times this week with Juliet Lima, 9 Hotel 1 Juliet Lima, followed, of course, by I was on WhatsApp to Joe, 9 Hotel 1 Juliet, Alpha Juliet, earlier in the week, and I had Echo Link running, and an Italian called in, but unfortunately Joe couldn't get at him. And following the other Joe, I spoke to a guy in VK3, which was great. Nice to hear the repeater on. And today I've just been basically in the shack with it, monitoring it. I've had one chat with 9 Hotel 1 Juliet Lima, which is always a pleasure, while I was updating the user database on my TYTMD380 and the Anytone 878. It kept me company with its Morse code now and again. But it's nice to see so many Maltese call signs on. I'll make this a one-on-one only. I'll be listening for a short while, but I won't come back unless called very soon. There's other jobs. The WX here in the UK at the moment is dry. We've had about 7 days of wall-to-wall blue sky and sunshine, which has been quite pleasant, but the wind has changed. It's now coming down from the Arctic, and my outside temperature at the moment is the highest is 3.2 degrees. So it's cool. It's cool. But anyway, you've got a long list tonight, Jerry. So I wish you a Layla Tayeb. It's about the only sentence I can put together, apart from the odd word. And we'll see you on the net in a fortnight's time. Good night to everybody. November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, Golf Zero, Bravo, India Alpha, name's Ian, QDH, Musk by the Sea, on the northeast coast of the UK.
For all the repeaters to set. There we go. I should listen to what I say, huh? Golf Zero Bravo India Alpha, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey. Both Charlie and I and 9H-5FA are on DMR as well. And I was wondering whether you listen to a specific talk group most of the time, or whether, and just like the rest of us, you are all over the place. I'm starting to basically listen to talk group 2780, which is the Malta talk group, quite often now. In fact, I have it as a preference on Brandmeister so that I can hear traffic when it goes through and possibly say hello if I have the time. Back to you, Ian. Go ahead.
There was me reaching for the Anytone. Okay, yeah. Well, I came on the talk group this evening, but of course with it on Echolink as well, I was getting feedback. I could hear myself and so on and so forth. I have called. I've had it on the radio for months now. I had one QSO originally some time back with 9H-1 Golf Papa. But not heard him since. I don't know if I frightened him off, HI. But anyway, I shall listen out. I tend to go on to 2350 and occasionally move, but I don't go on Hotel California anymore, Group 91. You can never get away from the bar on there. Even my ex-YL's laughing at that one. It must have been funny. November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey. Very good night, gentlemen, and good night to you, Jerry. Carry on. Hope you have a good evening, and look forward to the next one. It's building up, and that sounds better. You know, it gets better as it goes along.
Absolutely, Ian. Yeah, I heard they don't even serve food at Talk Group 91. You'll die of hunger before you get out of there. Well, I listen on 2780 quite a bit, which is the Malta Talk Group. And I've talked to Anthony and Charlie and some other people as well. So hopefully we'll catch you somewhere around there. And thank you for the information. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, Net Control Station for this evening's session of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet and Charlie 9H-1FBS. Over to you. And 7APW.
And 7APW 9H-1FBS returning. Call me Charles on the net, please. Ha ha ha. Or else in Maltese, Charlie. Say hello to all. A very good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. And we hope to have some more check-ins very, very soon. And I say a special hello to Charlie. If I'm not mistaken, it's WB4 Papa Delta Tango. I think it's the first time I heard you on this net. Welcome and keep coming back. And with that plug, I've sent it over to the net controller. Today we had a very quiet day here, and as was said before, some rain, some sun, so it's well balanced. And 7APW, 9H-1FBS.
Alrighty, very good, Charlie. 9H-1FBS and 7APW. I believe Charlie's call sign is Whiskey Bravo 4 Papa Victor Tango. Who happens to be next? So welcome to the net. Charlie, and I'll pass it back to you for any comments, and welcome to the net once again. And if I repeat myself, I apologize. And 7APW, go ahead.
This is W4PVT. It's the first time on the net, like you said. I have been to Malta twice, and hopefully I'll be returning as soon as this COVID virus slows down. I was supposed to be there in October. A friend of mine and I backed off, and looks like right now hope to be there either March or April if things get better. What I've seen on YouTube of Malta, it has sure changed. I was there in '68 and '69, and I worked up on Malta Ridge, which is a radar station now. We had a link between the toe of Italy to Malta and then to North Africa for the U.S. Air Force. I enjoyed my stay there, and hopefully my daughter is going to be coming with me. She's half Maltese because my ex-wife was Maltese, and from what I see, the island has sure changed over the years, and I'm very anxious to get back. If I had my way, I'd be there today, and would like to work with some of the hams there. I've got some goodies to bring that I picked up at Dayton. I don't know if any of you all have been to Dayton, Ohio for the Ham Fest, and that's another big thing coming up. But other than that, the QTH here, by the way, is on the east coast of the United States, just south of Washington, D.C. I'm on the coast, so we get a nice warm breeze off the Atlantic, so we don't get the snow like you do up in Wyoming. I feel like this is a good spot. It's not too far north where we get a lot of snow, and it's not too far south where we get too much heat. So it's where I pretty well grew up, and kind of enjoyed this area. But I'm very, very anxious to get back to Malta in the near future. This is WB4PVT, clear.
Well, very good, Charlie. WB4PVT, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey, net control for the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. Well, I'm certainly not qualified to tell you how many or what kind of changes have happened on the island. I can honestly tell you that they have. I lived on the island between 1961 and 1978 and have been back in the United States since then. I've gone back twice, but the last time I was there, well, actually 3 times, but the last time I was there was in 1990, and that's 32 years ago. So I would like to go back. Obviously, my brother is 9 Hotel 1 Fox Bravo Sugar, who's also on the net, and so we haven't seen each other not as long as 32 years, but it's been over a decade, and so we need to remedy that. Alrighty, and I wish you a safe trip, and I hope you thoroughly enjoy yourself. The island has grown for sure. You know, when I left the island, the population was somewhere around 310,000. And I believe now the population is about 500,000 people, which is the same population, incidentally, as the whole state of Wyoming. And I think I made my calculations. Wyoming is about 98 times as large as Malta would be, or maybe it's 980. I don't know the exact number in square miles. So it's interesting. Alrighty, this is November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey Net Control Station for this evening session of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. Let us pass this now to Anthony, 9 Hotel 5 Fox Alpha, with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. Slip of the tongue there, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey.
Thank you very much, Jerry. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha, Anthony. I'm transmitting on UHF, on the UHF-R repeater, 9H1 UHF-R repeater, but I'm monitoring on DMR as well, and also on Echolink. At the moment, I'd like to, first of all, I'd like to thank the new check-ins we had today, and I'd like to sort of pass on the message that we do have a mailing list. Well, it's actually not a mailing list, it's a calendar invite list. So, especially for the new check-ins, if you go to the 9H-HAM GlobalNet YouTube channel, where we also stream these nets live, and you can listen to past nets as well. If you go to the info page on the 9H-HAM GlobalNet YouTube channel, there's a link you can press to subscribe. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to, but there's a link you can press to subscribe to a mailing list. But the only thing you'll ever receive is a calendar invite by email about 24 to 48 hours before the next net is going to be held. You can also unsubscribe whenever you want to. So this is an automatic list. I send out the calendar invites, but the list is actually an automatic list. And I invite anyone who would like to subscribe. At the moment, there are about 40 subscribers. So the list, every time I send out the calendar invite, goes to about 40 different radio hams. And sort of you just get a calendar warning, it's sort of a calendar notification popping up on your mobile phone saying, oh, this time there's this. So I invite anyone to subscribe to this list. When you receive the calendar invite, there'll also be a short instruction page providing all the links you need to the YouTube page or to unsubscribe or whatever. But that's the only thing. No spam whatsoever. No circulars, no nothing, just calendar invites. That's the scope of this. And it's stated on the form when you fill up your name. The only details will require your name, surname, and radio call sign. That's all. Back to you, Jerry, at control. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha, returning to November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey.
Okay, very good, Anthony. Is there also a Facebook page? Is that correct? Go ahead.
Jerry, there is a Facebook page called 9H-HAM. That Facebook page is maintained by a radio amateur called Glenn, and I really can't just, for the minute I forgot his radio call sign. That is a general radio amateur page for Maltese radio amateurs and anyone else who is not Maltese who wishes to join and is interested in Maltese radio ham hobbies. So we do advertise this net on the Facebook page as well. But the Facebook page is a general Facebook page. I do not maintain it myself. But anyone can click and join, and there are several members on the page who have foreign call signs, not only 9H call signs. And but yes, we do post adverts on that. And something else I wish to add is that I am looking at Jitsi at the moment. And on Jitsi, I can see 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Mike, France Mikhail. I'm not sure. He might be able to check in. I think he's sharing at the moment actually. So he might be able to check in later on. And on Jitsi there is also Tango Sierra who checked in. There's also Lima 9 Hotel 1 Lima Oscar who checked in. There's 9 Hotel 1 Sierra Fox Stephen who checked in as well, and myself. So back to you, Jerry, and control. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha.
Okay, very good, Anthony. Let me take a pause here. 9 Hotel 5 Fox Alpha with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey Net Control. So, Glenn, WB4 PVT, that would be a good place to make perhaps a few more contacts with hams from the island of Malta prior to or after you start visiting the island. There is a web page, there's a Facebook page that's called 9H-HAM, and quite a few hams subscribe to that as well. Did you copy that, Charlie? Go ahead.
QSL, on the basic, I got a email this morning telling me that net was coming on, so I believe I'm on the net. But I do not have Facebook.
It's another resource, of course. Excuse me. Very good indeed. Before going further down the list, and because I have a frog in my throat, let's see if there are any more check-ins for the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. Come now, please.
Kilo Bravo 1 Oscar Delta Oscar. Kilo Bravo 1 Oscar Delta Oscar, Andy in Vermont.
Okay, very good, Andy. KB1ODO. I have you checked in, and the repeater checked in as well, in Morse code even. Any other check-ins for this evening's 9H-HAM GlobalNet?
Nine Hotel 5, Foxtrot Mike.
Okay, very good. I have 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Mike. And not to give anybody any ideas, but I do expect somebody to check into the net one day with Morse code. Excuse me a moment. That would be interesting. Okay. Very good. Enough of this nonsense. Let's go back to the net. I left off with 9 Hotel 1 Sugar Foxtrot. Good evening, Stephen. Happy New Year to you and your family. And let's hear what you have to say this evening. And I hope you have a smile on your face as you usually do. And 7APW standing by.
APW, 9 Hotel 1 Sugar Fox with all the group. Good evening to all the listeners tonight and everyone on JITC and all the newcomers that came on to do the check-ins. Not much really to say. Was nearly out all day. Had some stuff to do this morning and late afternoon. And got home about 6 o'clock, so I've been out most of the day there. Nothing much to report about. You already know about the weather, so I'm not going to repeat myself. And we hope we have more check-ins and not more problems anyway, like we've been having lately. So anyway, I'll pass the microphone back to you. Good evening to everyone and all the new check-ins tonight also. Like you already know, that is always that the net is always every 2 weeks, and we do hope that we have more people come on. Also. On Jitsi also, to meet us on Jitsi also, so we can see a friendly face also. But anyway, I'll pass the microphone back to you, and another good evening, and thank you for all the hard work. November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey. This is 9 Hotel 1 Sugar Fox.
Very good, Stephen. Oh yeah, let me send you to Australia now. Why not, right? 9 Hotel 1 Sugar Fox and the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey. Very good indeed. And I'm glad you're having some mild weather and no big storms. There have been quite a few big storms in the Mediterranean. I'm actually surprised. Somehow, perhaps because I'm getting old now, I don't remember all those storms happening when I was younger. We're talking much younger here, so we're talking 40, 50 years ago. Ooh, don't date yourself, Jer. All right, let's pass it over to Chris. Chris, how are you doing? Happy New Year to you and yours. 9 Hotel 1, Tango Lima, November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey.
November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey. This is 9 Hotel 1, Tango Lima. Thank you very much. Happy New Year to you and yours. I ran into some problems with the start of this net. The main one being that I thought that I was charging my device, but apparently, silly me, I forgot to switch on the charger from last week. So I'm happy that I'm lower down in the list of check-ins. I had some time to give this device a little bit of juice. Thank you, 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha, for the link. I will be definitely subscribing for the calendar invite. I can see it. It's on epwsomething.com. I have the link in front of me. I will definitely do that, as just like I tend to forget with charging my devices, I tend to forget with my appointments as well. Okay, this was interesting about the ice disk. I didn't know. I didn't know about that phenomenon, so I have to keep this short, as I thought that I gave enough charge to this device, but clearly not, so I'll keep this short. Over to network controller 9 November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey from 9 Hotel 1 Tango Lima, Chris.
Yeah, very good, Chris. 9 Hotel 1 Tango Lima, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey. 100% copy. But yeah, it happens to the best of us. I happen to like to chat a lot, and so one battery is not enough for me. And that's pretty bad because I have that Anytone 878, and it's a 3100 milliamp battery. And that's a pretty hefty battery, but and it will tell you that you're talking too much too, but that's okay. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey Net Control Station for this evening session of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. Next in line is you, Andy, KB1 ODO. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey.
November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey in the group. Kilo Bravo 1, Oscar Delta Oscar, and in Vermont. Good evening to everyone. First time on the net here. I got my email there. And actually the first time I'm using Echo Link on my phone. So I hope I have everything set up right here. A nice sunny day here in Vermont, but very cold. Around zero C here. And it's going to get real cold for the next 7 days. It's going to be way, way down. And on the Fahrenheit scale, we're talking 15 below zero. So I forget what that is in centigrade there. But I'm going to sit back here and enjoy the net here and see what everyone has to say, and hopefully make this a regular thing for me. So with that, I'll turn it back to you. I think that was November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, Kilo Bravo 1, Oscar Delta Oscar.
KB1 ODO and 7 APW returning. If my calculations are right, that's somewhere around minus 25 or 28 degrees Celsius. But I wasn't using a calculator this time, so I may be totally wrong. Very good. It was cold here, and it's still cold. I mean, we are in winter after all. But somewhere in the next 3 days, it's going to go up to 50 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 10 degrees Celsius. That's pretty warm for us. Of course, you know, things will change in a heartbeat, but that's the way it goes. It's nice to have you on the net. Welcome to the net. I hope you join us often, and hope you enjoy being a part of our net. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey. And last but not least, 9 Hotel 5, Fox Mike. Franz, how are you this evening? I hope everything is well with you. And 7 APW.
Hotel 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, 9 Hotel 5, Foxtrot Mike. Good evening from my side. Okay. Right now, I'm a bit relaxing. I'm relaxing. My nephew here is on the mobile hours at 2 year, 5 months. Boy, is, I think you hear the music is on the density line. Okay, here we go. And everybody. Okay, even me, Dave, and I'm blessed that I'm talking to you and to everyone who is listening, because most of the time I have some problems with the repeater to take the repeater from where I'm transmit, because actually my proper QTH is in formal run, but right now I'm living in Bujiba, and I have a tower crane, 2 tower cranes actually, 2 tower cranes, one in front of me and one about 150 meters away on my right. That sometimes it covers the repeater. And they are building a block of apartments. So sometimes I can't make contact. Okay, Dave, my back to you, November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, 9 Hotel 5, Foxtrot Mike. But today, thank God, I'm through.
Yeah, don't let the long pause worry you. Your copy was 100%, a little scratchy, but then if you have 2 cranes close by and they also happen to be vertically polarized, geez, that's no help. So all we can do is maybe tell the crane operators to hurry up and build what they have to build and go away, which might mean next door too. Because apparently my understanding is that there's a lot of building going on the island, some of which I can actually see on the live webcams that are all over the island. And very good though, you had a solid copy, a bit scratchy, but it still was solid. And maybe you'll have some time over a weekend and build yourself a small beam antenna and point it towards the repeater from Bujiba, and it might help. You never know. Obviously, the polarization of the cranes won't help you much. Luckily, the frequency will, but not the polarization. Alrighty, this is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey. Net control station for this evening's session of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, which meets every 2 weeks on Thursday on the hour at this time, 8 p.m. Malta time. Let's see. We're down to the bottom of the list, so let us see if there are any additional check-ins for the net. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, standing by.
November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey, now Hotel 5, Foxtrot Mike again.
Go ahead, Franz, N7APW.
Right, I have another problem because the thing is that my antenna, the mobile antenna that can fit in the car, on the car, and it is fixed on the balcony, on a aluminium railing balcony. QSL safe.
Oh yeah, very good. I think Charlie 9H1FBS is looking at doing something similar so that he can get into the repeater from where he is in Slima, and we'll be able to host the net as well. It's not a bad arrangement, but you know, we do the best that we can, and as long as it works, that's all. Really, that matters. And 9H5 9H5 frequency modulation, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey.
Okay, Mike, back to you. Maybe someone make contact with you. Okay, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey, 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Mike.
Very good, Franz. Keep smiling and have a good evening. And thank you for checking in. Any other checkers or anything else for the net before we close the net this evening? This is November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey.
Suggestion, 9H1FBS.
Okay, Charlie, 9H1FBS and 7APW.
I told you to call me Charles on the net, man. Anyway, this is a joke between us, so don't you mind. It's, you know. Jerry, I suggest that for Andy's sake and anybody else, maybe also, let's see, and for Charlie's sake, I suggest you give the website for the the cams around Malta. He might be amused. Just for your information, for those of us who joined for the first time, I am visually impaired, and from what I've learned, even this side of the island, I live in Slima, which is a coastal town. It has changed a lot, and many of those tower cranes that Francis was speaking about are all over the place here, and I don't think that you would recognize Mosta, Charlie. It has changed dramatically. So I suggest, Jerry, maybe you could give him the webcam site so he could have a look around. N7APW, 9H1FBS.
Very good, Charlie, 9H1FBS and 7APW. What did you tell me to call you? Charlie, Charles, Carmelo, Nanu, what is that? I forgot, Charlie. Charles, Nanu, Carmelo. He's a person of many identities. Anyway, and he's my brother, so I guess I can pull his leg a little. You know, if someone wants to see live cams on Malta, there are probably somewhere around 30 of them. And all you have to do is go to a web browser and type in live webcams in Malta. And it'll be the first selection, I'm sure, of the results. So live webcams in Malta on a search engine will get you these cams, and they're pretty interesting. And now they've also updated them so that the views are visible in low lighting at night, and when there are some heavy storms too. There's even a couple of webcams where the ferry docks, both on the Malta side and on the Gozo side, the sister island. And I had a question for Anthony, by the way. Anthony, if you're listening, and I'm sure you are, we were thinking about also linking, was it a Gozo repeater to the net? And is there any update on that one? I was just wondering. You know, it just occurred to me, you know how these thoughts are, fleeting. 9H5 Fox Alpha and 7APW and the 9H-HAM GlobalNet.
November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey, this is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. Yes, we did have that intention. Unfortunately, the go-to repeater isn't connected to Echolink. So there wasn't a way in which we could actually link up. We had discussed that initially some months ago, but we couldn't actually link up to it because it's not at the moment connected to Echolink, and I'm not sure if there are plans for it to be. Yeah, so that's the situation at the moment. Back to you, net control. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha.
Okay, very good. 9 Hotel 5 Fox Alpha on November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey and the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. And you may have told me that, and I may have forgotten, so I apologize. But my memory chips are old. Okay, any more check-ins or anything else for the net before we conclude the net this evening? This is November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey standing by.
WB4 PVT.
Charlie, go ahead. November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey.
A couple of things I'd like to ask about. First of all, if you would like to see what I look like, if you go to hamcall.net, there's a photograph of me, one of them taken at the Dayton Ham Fest a few years ago, and another one taken years ago when I was working on a tower. And if you want anything updated on that website, I help out maintain the QSL information on there. HamCall is the world's largest ham database. It's larger than QSL.com. And we also, you can type in my call sign and look at the archives to see where I've lived. And we have QSL information on people. I think that the oldest we have is like 1940. It's back in the 40s. The other thing is I have about 3 D-Star HTs, and I understand you don't have any D-Star there, just DMR. But would like to know if there's any plans for a D-Star. And also I'd like to get a list of the 2-meter 440 FM repeaters. I've got a partial list that I'm using to update my HTs. I noticed at 440 you don't use a 5 meg split, but I've got that in the other HTs. So that's about the only information I like to pass on. This WB4 PVT.
Well, very good, Charlie. Let's see if we can help you out. And also, before I do that, can you repeat the information about the website? Is it hamcall.com? Is that correct? Straighten me out, Charlie. Go ahead.
No, it's hamcall.net, N-E-T, .net is the database, and you can probably type in your call sign, probably be able to see what your other QSL information. We don't have nearly the advertisement that QSL has, and we don't have the staff to maintain a website like QSL. In fact, they're going to donate one of their antennas to the Maltese Radio Club 9H-HAM MRL when I finally get over there. It's a long wire antenna, and they were nice enough to offer to donate one. Over.
Very good, Charlie. That's excellent news. WB4PVT and 7APW with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. Can someone help Charlie? He's looking for a complete VHF, UHF repeater listing. I don't know whether I have one either. Let me give a pause here in case someone has any additional traffic or needs to or can direct Charlie to the right place. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet.
Repeaterbook.com seems to be pretty up to date. Repeaterbook.com.
Does it list all the repeaters that are currently active on the island? I apologize. I think it was Anthony. We had repeaterbook.com, and then there was another comment, and I might have stepped on you, and I apologize. Go ahead, please.
Apologies, I must have crossed over with someone. I did hear the repeaterbook.com, but I'm not sure exactly who said it. So apologies. Okay, it was Stanley. I'm mistaken. It was 9H-HAM Lima Oscar. All right, Stanley, do you want to go ahead and okay, okay, it's making sense now. He suggested repeaterbook.com. Yeah. Another suggestion is that on the 9H-HAM radio Facebook page, which is maintained by Glenn. I recorded it call sign now. It's 9 Hotel 5 Yankee Victor. 9 Hotel 5 Yankee Victor. In the file section, there is a PDF which Glenn himself prepares with all frequencies and connection details of VHF, UHF, and DMR repeater. Well, we have one DMR repeater in Malta and Gozo. And we also have a system fusion system too, and there's a PDF which he can download from the file section on that Facebook page. Alternatively, if I have his email address, which I'm not sure I do, if Charles has subscribed to the mailing list, I can dig into the mailing list and find it. I can send him the PDF myself by email. Or else he can email me at the email address that is on the Facebook page of this net. So on 9H-HAM GlobalNet, if you go to the About page, there's an email address where you can mail for comments, feedback, whatever. And if he emails me there, I can send him the PDF just so that I know his email address. The Repeater book is also pretty updated, as Stanley said. There's something else I wanted to say and I forgot. Yes, about D-Star. You mentioned D-Star. We don't have a D-Star repeater in Malta, but I believe there is some D-Star activity going on through hotspots. I believe that Steve 9 Hotel 1 Sierra Fox sometimes steps into D-Star transmissions. I'm not sure if he'd like to add something if he's listening at the moment. I don't have any experience with D-Star myself, so back to net control, and perhaps Steve 9H1 Sierra Fox wishes to add something on the topic. So this is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Anthony. Yes, I usually use D-Star from my location here on the island through the hotspots from Sicily. So I can get into the hotspots in Sicily from my location and use the hotspots there for D-Star. So that's all I can say at the present time. I didn't get the call sign from Chris, so Chris, can you please give me your call sign once again, please?
I guess you were asking about Charlie. Charlie's call sign is Whiskey Bravo 4 Papa Victor Tango. Whiskey Bravo 4 Papa Victor Tango. And Charlie said he's planning on visiting around March. And also, then I have a question. I'm sure Charlie would have the same question too. Are there any D-Star repeaters in Sicily that are accessible or that one can hit with an HT from Malta? I think the answer may be yes, but I'd like a definite answer on that. November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet.
November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey, 901 Sugar Fox. Yes, it depends on the location on the island. Depends on your location on the island. If you're close to like Maliha, yes, with the handheld you can get into the repeater there via the hotspot. So it shouldn't be a problem, but you're not going to be like on the other end of the island, Berza Boja, to try to get into the repeater, hotspot repeater there is in Sicily. So depending on the location to us,
So, if my geography is still right, since Gozo is further north than Malta, is there coverage in Gozo to the Sicilian repeaters? Go ahead.
QSL there. If you're in Gozo, obviously, you're more closer, to Sicily there. So yes, if you're on the island of Gozo, it wouldn't be a problem to access the hotspots QSL.
Well, thank you, Stephen. That's interesting information for everybody on the net. Anthony, pen and paper, please. I have Charlie's email address for you, and Charlie doesn't have Facebook, so if you could send him the PDF, I'm sure he'd appreciate it, and then I'll pass it over to Charlie. But let me pass it to Charlie first, and then over to you, and he or I can give you his email address so that he can receive that PDF. I hope we're helping you out with that, Charlie. WB4PVT, this is the whole purpose of the net anyway, and 7APW.
This is WB4PVT. The email address is WB4PVT at ARRL.net. That's ARRL.net. And I'd like to mention a couple of other things. As far as D-Star, I have two D-Star repeaters at my QTH, one on 2 meters and one on 440. The 2 meter is permanently on 30 Charlie, and it's up, the antenna is only up about 27 meters on my tower. I also maintain two other repeaters, FM, a 2 meter and a 440 for a local club. And I'd just like to get the repeater frequencies in my HT, so when I get there, I'll be able to operate, and I believe I'm going to be able to operate as 9H1/W4PVT, which I'm not too happy with. I'd be much happier with a 9H1 PVT call, being a complete Maltese call, but I understand that's not to be done. It's W4PVT.
I also think that the 9H1s have stopped being given out, and I think it's F. If I'm mistaken here, and somebody correct me, what are the call signs that are now being given out? Is it 9H2s and 9H6s? Is that correct? Somebody, I know. Everybody else knows this answer, but, you know, it's a learning experience. And 7APW with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. Somebody knows the answer to this. Currently, if you got a license, a ham radio license on Malta, what would the prefix be? Go ahead.
9H2, 9H6, or 9H7.
Which is which for who? I'm assuming 9H2 is Malta, and what about the others, Charlie?
Well, I haven't got it in front of me, but I'll check on my license. I believe that 9H7 is Gozo, 9H6 is something else. Maybe Anthony knows. He's a whiz around here, you know. Or maybe our friend Stephen. But I know that 9H2 is being given to Malta, and I believe 9H7 is for Gozo. So those two, definitely. But just a side here, to get one of these, you'll have to be a permanent resident here more than 3 months. Up to 3 months, you use your WB8/ something, you know. Do they put it before or after? I believe it's 9H/WB blah blah blah, you know. So so it would be something like 9H/WB4PVT, Charlie, okay?
QSL, I understand. That's what I've been told. But when I was in Malta, I was always mistaken as a Maltese, and I took pride in that. And the only words that I kind of remember in Maltese was flus spicha, if I pronounced that right. Anyway, money gone, and a few other phrases. But like I said, I'm willing to get back. And the other person that's going with me, he's also a ham, and my daughter's a ham, so there'll be at least 3 hams coming this spring to Malta. This is WB4PVT.
Charlie. Well, flus is a 4-letter word too, so that's good. All righty, this is the November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey Net Control Station for this evening session of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. Any other traffic questions, comments, or anything else for the net check-ins perhaps before I close the net this evening? It is a wonderful net. Thank you. I'll stand by.
November 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha.
Go ahead, Anthony. We've been talking about you. I'm sure your ears have been whistling like crazy. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've been listening. Actually, while you've been talking, I've been looking up the last revised legislation, because the call sign, the new call sign locations have been revised recently by Legal Notice 8th of 2020. And, well, most of us, all of us have had our call signs for some time now, so we aren't exactly familiar with the new allocations, but I'm seeing it in front of me at the moment. So, from 1st June 2019, so that's when the changes started to come into effect. From 1st June 2019, 9H-1 call signs will not be assigned anymore. So people who have the 9H-1 call sign will retain it. But from the 1st June 2019, no new 9H-1 call signs were issued, and the call sign prefix which was issued was 9 Hotel 2, and that's granted to any qualified person having a registered address in Malta. The 9H3 call signs are still being used to foreign licensees who require a temporary license for a period exceeding 3 months. So those who require a temporary license, who are going to be in Malta and require a temporary license, will be allocated a 9 Hotel 3 prefix. The 9 Hotel 4 prefix, which used to be Gozo, has stopped being assigned from the 1st June 2019. And the 9H5 prefix, which is what I have, which used to be assigned to anyone having registered address in Malta or Gozo, but not holding a Morse qualification. So the 9H4 was for gazetted people also holding a Morse qualification. 9H5 was for Malta and Gozo, for those not holding a Morse qualification, which includes me. So 9H5 has stopped being assigned as well since 1st June 2019. 9H6, which has been the license prefix for radio contests, experimental stations, special events, that has been maintained. That's a temporary license. And we now have 9H7 since the 1st June 2019 to any qualified person having a registered address in Gozo. The way it's here listed in the 3rd schedule of Legal Notice 8 of 2020, the call signs which are being issued after the 1st June 2019 are 9H2 for permanent licenses having a registered address, permanent licensees having a registered address in Malta, 9H3 for foreigners requiring a temporary license, 9H6 for special events and radio contests, and 9H7 for any qualified person having a registered address in Gozo. There's no distinction now between those who have a Morse code qualification or not. So the call sign doesn't distinguish at this stage. The new call signs don't distinguish between those who have a Morse qualification or not. I can include this legal notice in my email to Charlie if he's interested. By the way, I've also seen your email address, Charlie, on qrz.com. So I have it here as well in front of me. I can include this in your email as well. I'll send you the recent updates to the radio regulations in Malta. Back to you, Net Control. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha.
Well, thank you very much, Anthony. That was extremely informative. I'm now up to date as well, and everybody else who's listening, I'm sure. Do you have any questions or comments, Charlie? WB4PVT with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey.
This is WB4PVT. No, not at this time. I appreciate all the information. I've already gotten one email, so any email would be greatly appreciated. And just want to be sure I get all my HTs set up and ready for when I get there in Malta, hopefully soon. This is WB4PVT, clear.
Okay, very good, Charlie. Glad to see you on board, and glad to be able to help in our small little way. And I don't know how long you're going to stay on the island, but I hope you enjoy yourself. And afterwards, tell me all about it. Or while you're there, we might talk on maybe the DMR repeater or this 9H1 UHF-R repeater or via Echolink or anything like that. Very good. This is November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey Net Control Station for this evening's session of the 9H-HAM Global Net. Any other traffic for the net, any other check-ins for the net, I will stand by. Well, hearing none, I would like to thank everybody who checked into the net. We had a total of 11 check-ins this evening, a very nice number. It was a very lively, active, and net, and thank you everybody for participating. Excuse me, here comes that frog again. And I'd like to invite you to check in again 2 weeks from today at 8 p.m. Malta time, 2 p.m. Eastern time in the U.S. for another edition of the 9H-HAM Global Net. In the meantime, I wish you all a good evening. I'd like to thank everybody who has made this net possible. Anthony, Stephen, the repeater trustees, and everybody else who participated in the net. Even if you had two cranes right next to you trying to bar you from checking into the net, but you made it in. Okay, guys, I've enjoyed it a lot, and thank you for your participation, all the information, and I hope to see you in 2 weeks. This is November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey, Net Control Station for this evening session of the 9H-HAM Global Net. 73s, everybody, good evening, and I'll return everything to normal amateur use. Good night, everybody.
Good evening, 739 Hotel 1 Lima Oscar signing off.
Thank you so much. 9 Hotel 5 Tango Sierra, well done.
Thank you very much, Net Control and everyone who participated. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha.
T3 from my side, thank you very much. November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey, and thank you for all your help. 9 Hotel 1 Sugar Fox.
From Hotel 5 Foxtrot Mike. Good night. Go.
The different information flowing through the net, and it was fantastic. Thank you to everybody.